If you have a brand that needs to scale on TikTok Shop, or if you're worrying, wondering, thinking about making revenue 100 to 200 orders per day, or if you're just starting out on TikTok Shop, this is going to be how you can focus a creative driven approach so you can make more sales. And I'm about to break down the exact flow for how we're doing this and what type of user generated content and videos are required, absolutely required, for you to see 100 to 200 orders per day on TikTok Shop. On this channel, that's all I do. I talk about social media, D2C, Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, and how you will scale. I'm going to go over everything from how to build out your UGC all the way to how you can find the creators, what type of creators, what type of briefs you're going to get into, and how we can create that mechanism for success. I'll say this. A lot of your content is not going to get a lot of conversions until you have a rotating creator list of 20 to 30 people who are making back-to-back content for your brand. And that's where it's very important to understand what type of content drives the most sales for your brand. And so it's going to be really 4 or 5 things. And that's going to be how it's made videos, us versus them, you versus a competitor, trending content, right? So just like stitch cut content. And then UGC dance or UGC ads where you have basically testimonials. That being said, it's not the only mechanism that works. A lot of different mechanisms work for creating sales online. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like to have a successful store on TikTok and Shopify. I'm just going to share some of the screenshots that we have of some of the great campaigns that we've worked with in the past. That being said, I'm not making any revenue claims here. I'm not saying that we're going to go out and snap our fingers. All these creators are going to instantly generate sales for you. What I'm saying is 100 to 200 orders per day. That is very possible with this specific UGC content plan. And most brands, if not all brands who are using this strategy, are seeing similar to the results that I'm saying here. What we're going to want to focus on is us versus them, UGC, and trending content. So what that really looks like is how do you compare against other competitors? So I'm going to go ahead and show a good example. This is Logan Paul doing a Prime video comparing his product to another product. And he's got his fiance in the background creating some attention distraction so that we can keep locked in on the video itself. And that's all to do with keeping people locked into the video. If you have these type of videos, this is what sets your brand apart from the other plain old schmo Joes that are out there. For example, like this one that he's comparing Prime to. That being said, you want to be able to highlight the best of your product on your us versus them. So it's not always like videos like this. Sometimes it's direct us versus them where you're talking about it. What makes yours better? What makes yours different? But this is a key that really separates you from competitors, and that's going to allow you to openly talk about how your brand is better and why. That being said, that's not the only type of content that you want to focus on. And getting this type of content is interesting because you're going to need to find a great influencer list that's willing to both do the content and build out stuff where it's us versus them. It takes a lot of management. We are masters at finding creators that do this type of content, and I'm happy to help you out with that. The other thing that we're going to focus on when we're looking to grow our sales in the content space with UGC is stitch content or trending content. Now, a lot of us have seen this LC sign guy who's making a lot of LED signage. This guy does great work at stitching content together, getting the initial attention that viral videos have, and then going ahead and promoting the product in a trending, unique, and funny way. Now, this type of content is going to be hard to come by. And the reason why I'm saying that is, well, it's obviously hard to come by. So you're not going to be able to find people who are acting the way that this guy is. But if you find it and you know how to find these creators in volumes of 5 to 10 per month, that's when you're looking at sales of 100 to 200 orders per day. And that usually takes you to the place of seeing 6-figure months on TikTok Shop. And that's what this is all about. Being able to have enough organic content to where you're doing TikTok organic videos, you're doing how it's made videos, you're doing clips of all these UGC content, you're paying UGC and then you're getting to influencers, you're doing the TikTok affiliate program, And with the best posts, you're going to start doing paid ads. Now, I've already made the full breakdown of this flow here, so we're not going to get into that today, but we'll go into the last and most foundational part of your content flow for your brand, and that is your UGC and ads. So I'll give you a quick rundown of how you can find affiliates, and that's usually through Fastmoz. And so let me just show you what that is. So Fastmoz is one of the best places to find your creators. You can search different creators in the top rank. You can look at your competitors, and you can actually spy on competitors' creators so that you can find the best creators that are generating the most revenue. And you can go ahead and look at some of the work here. These foundational UGC videos are making $215,000 in the past 30 days. That's well over 200 orders per day. And so you can just see how a little bit goes a long way with finding the right creators for your brand. I'll plug this in here. This is our brand, and we work with it. We've been working on building out the entire TikTok shop. And if you want results just like this, simply follow the flow that I have here today. If it wasn't clear to you, using these variations of content are what get you that 100 to 200 orders per day. That being said, you guys don't know what you're doing. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not making any revenue claims here. I'm just saying this is something that you can do for your brand that's going to help, and that we've seen scale many brands that are doing 8 figures a month. All right. Thanks, guys.